Hey guys, Mars here again to talk about Fantastic Four today for the last time, I promise. I've seen the movie and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. Figured before I jumped into what I thought, we would take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes website here, which is usually a pretty big joke. You can definitely tell there's a lot of shilling going on with this organization here. But taking a look here, the tomato meter looks like it's at about 88%. Popcorn meter is 93%. Those are, in my opinion, a little bit high, but those are fair compared to some of the especially more recent Marvel movies we've seen. I definitely wouldn't have rated the movie that high. I think, well, I'll save my score for the end here. But to jump in, we're going to compare to what Superman did during its run so far. These are pretty much the two big movies of the summer here, at least the two big comic book movies. So Fantastic Four again, 88%, 93%. We jump over to Superman. We have 83% and 92%. So very similar. Seems like both groups seem to like these movies a good amount. They were both fun. Head to head, I definitely liked Fantastic Four a good amount better. Superman, I didn't love. It was fun seeing Superman. The story was overpacked, as I talked about in my other video. This movie seemed a good amount more deliberate with what it was doing. Biggest problem with it, like I knew going in, was going to be Pedro Pascal. He overexposed. I'm tired of seeing him everywhere. I've said that multiple times in my other video. I think he was the weakest part of the movie. John Krasinski in that spot would have been great. I really thought he would have done so much better there. Pedro, he was just for one, the mustache. No, you cannot have a mustache on Mr. Fantastic. It doesn't work. So John Krasinski in there fixes that problem. That man never has a mustache, so he's ready-made for it. We've seen him do it in Doctor Strange. So Pedro was my biggest hang-up so far with the movie. We get to then Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. She did a good job. I heard going in that she was going to kind of take the lead on the group. Reed was going to take a bit of a backseat to her, and that was definitely the case. Reed was very passive, didn't have a lot of answers, even though he's supposed to be the smartest man alive. Sue Storm, though, was inspirational. She was a little overpowered, but it wasn't bad enough to the point that it gave me complaints that the MCU was back. Didn't mind her. I thought she did a great job. Eben Moss Backrack as the Thing was incredible. I wanted more of him. He seemed like he had a strong base to work with, but they didn't use him as much as they could have. The story was very centered around Reed, Sue, and Franklin, which I get, but when you have a great character like the Thing, Ben Grimm was very good. They were building up some things for the future for him in there, but you didn't get to see him do too much clobbering, I guess. You saw a little bit. I talked about in my last video how I thought they were going to be trying to bait him into saying it's clobbering time, and he was going to fight it the whole movie and then eventually say it. That's exactly what happened, and it was fun. But the moment he did it, wasn't that effective. But it was still cool that he finally leaned into it and said it, even though considering everybody was asking for it. So Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm was the best part of the movie. He steals every scene he's in. Him and Ben play off each other really well. They're like two young brothers that just like to mess with each other and ruffle each other's feathers. Very playful. Johnny was great with everybody in the cast, including Herbie the robot. Every time they interacted, he either patted him on the head or he gave him a fist bump. So very, very fun interactions with Johnny and everybody else, including Shalla Ball, including the Silver Surfer. they seemed like they were going to build up a bit of a romantic twist between those two, which would have been helpful with how the movie kind of concluded, how it ended. I thought that if they would have played that up a little more between them, it was one-sided. Johnny was definitely very interested in the Silver Surfer, but she didn't really give him any energy back. So, and we'll come back to that part later, where the issue that I had at the end of the movie with those two. So let's talk about some of the leaks that I'd heard about going in that ended up not being true. So we're going to shift over here. Let me bring this up. So let's see. Early screenings indicate that Reed Richards and Ben Grimm will have a romantic past. That proves to challenge Reed during his new marriage and fatherhood. So I saw this a while back, and I fully expected this to happen, considering some of the subject matter that Marvel and Disney have been putting into their movies for the last number of years. This did not happen. Nothing like that in there, which was great. That wasn't important. This was a very surprisingly pro-family movie. You don't see that a lot lately at all. So it was refreshing that they were building up the family aspect of it. I liked that. While we're here on the web, we're going to look at the last thing that I am going to just kind of passively put in here that I'm excited to never see again. Now that the press tour for this is over, I don't ever have to see these two goofballs just being.
These are gorgeous. I think that's my favorite image so far.
Strange.
Yeah.
He's always rubbing on her. She's always rubbing on him. She is pregnant. It's just jarring to see it. And it is, you can see here, it is just endless. It just continues to happen. I don't know how her significant other is
so far.
Okay with that kind of behavior. I mean, at work when there's no, I mean, I get it when the cameras are running, you're filming and you're playing a husband and wife, but I mean, these are interviews, so it's a little strange. So I'm relieved to never have to see that stuff again with these two. But yeah, let's move into some of the other positives of the movie. The score was great. I thought the music, it went so well with everything that was happening. It really helped you immerse into the story, especially the first and second act of the movie. They went really well. Story came together well. They built the universe in a great way. The world building was very good early on. You drop into the Fantastic Four being a thing for a while. They give you a quick backstory and then kind of show you what they're up to, and the story just flows. It gets you right into the main conflict. The action is well distributed. The sets look great. We had talked about that just from the previews, and that was consistent through the movie. You get to the third act and you see some issues. That's when things start to get a little bit off. They come up with a strange plan to try and handle Galactus, using Franklin as bait, which I get, but the plan seemed a little bit strange. They're going to teleport the Earth somewhere else, which seems like it would have a whole lot of other issues that they didn't really cover. But I guess suspend your disbelief a little bit. That plan ends up not coming to fruition, and they have to go to Plan B. So you get to a point where they are trying to draw Galactus to Earth, and he is much smaller than I expected. I thought maybe there would be some size scaling with him since he is a world eater, but there is not. He is very large, but he can walk through a city almost like Godzilla sized. And their goal is to push him through a portal to teleport him somewhere else in the universe. So that is where we get to the point where I discussed how Sue Storm is overpowered. We get to a point where she is essentially moving Galactus around with her force field powers, and it's a little jarring to see her being able to do that on her own when they tried to concoct this huge plan to teleport the Earth somewhere else in the universe, when Sue is able to just move Galactus around kind of at will. And then we get to the point of him actually going through the portal. He goes through. They're able to get him through. Sue Storm has used the last bit of her energy to get him through, and he starts coming back across to this side. They set it up for Johnny Storm, who is says a final message to his team to let his nephew know that that he loves him, and he is going to sacrifice himself to push Galactus through that portal. And then Shalabal comes in, Silver Surfer comes in, knocks him out of the way, and steals that moment from him, and is able to push Galactus the rest of the way through the portal before it closes. So, as I spoke about earlier, there was some definite interest in flirting from Johnny with her. He liked her. He was interested. If there was some reciprocation from her, then they could have definitely built that into a situation where maybe she, wanted to kind of show him that she had feelings for him too. So that's why she did that for him. But it almost just seemed like can't let one of the guys have the moment of glory here at the end of the movie. So they had her knock him out of the way and finish the job. And which is fine. I'm glad that they didn't kill Galactus or the Silver Surfer. That's been a problem with Marvel for a while. They kill off very good villains, and then you can't use them later. A lot of these people, you can backburner them after you've done something like this. You stash them somewhere, and then they can come back, and they can be stronger. They can team up. You have plenty of options, but that's been a big running problem with them, that they don't know what to do with their villains. Like somebody like Hela would have been great to be able to bring back later. There's been plenty, but we have that option here. So the story ends with Sue. She has died at the end of the movie, and after CPR from Reed, she is not resuscitated. So they Ben Grimm, who is the heart of the movie, he's the babysitter. He is the driver. He is taking care of everybody. He's got words of inspiration for everyone. Loved that character. He starts pulling Reed away from doing resuscitation techniques, and Franklin is trying to get to his mother. He's reaching out, so they put him on top of her, which you wouldn't want to put a baby on top of their dead mother in real life, but I guess to serve the purpose here, since he is imbued with the power cosmic here, you put him with her, and he is able to bring her back. So she wakes up, which is kind of expected. This is definitely her movie. You're not going to kill her off, especially with the plans going forward for this team, and they have saved their Earth, their version of Earth, not the one that is separate from the one that we're used to watching the other MCU movies. And they are hailed as heroes. Movie ends with them getting ready to go back on the talk show, and they get called away to another emergency. And the men have a moment where they are struggling to get the car seat in so they could leave, which is very funny, because if you've ever put a car seat in a car before, you know how troublesome they are and how they don't want to cooperate. So I got a little bit of a laugh out of that. I kind of like that. So that's where the movie ends. We get a post-credits scene where we see Franklin, and he is, as Sue leaves the room, comes back, and Franklin is being tended to by Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr. You don't get to see him, but you can see the mask, you can see the hood. It's very clear what that is, and then you get the message that the team will return in Doomsday. So the movie was enjoyable. I thought it was very good. It was definitely the best Marvel movie I've seen probably since Spider-Man No Way Home. Much better than the Thunderbolts, much better than Captain America, Brave New World. Let's not even get started on the Marvels. It was good. It was the first time I'd been to a Marvel movie and not disappointed at the end. I actually enjoyed my time there. So it was definitely better than Superman also. There's a second post-credit scene, which is just the cartoon version of the Fantastic Four. It was just a quick little thing. I was hoping for another, something that would lead into another movie, but either way, we got the Doctor Doom sighting. It was a fun movie. I think if I was to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a let's say a 6 out of 10. I have a high standard for Marvel movies. I watch the early stuff regularly. Just for reference, let's say the original Iron Man, I'd probably give that a 9. So 6 is not a bad score by any means. But yeah, definitely recommend this one. I had a great time watching it. I think it's fun for everyone. You don't have to know the entire Marvel back catalog to be able to enjoy it. You can just show up and it's almost like starting from scratch, but you still have a base to go off of if you've seen anything Marvel before. So, but yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any thoughts, leave them down below in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.